like to know what all the candidates' opinions on animal advocacy and how we need to help animals in Kentucky.
Good question.
For all of the candidates, or just a specific race, or the state house? State house candidates? All right, and can you remind me the order?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
With a lot here. Adam.
Sir?
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Ethan.
Ethan, thank you for being here and asking that. I was not as civically minded as you were when I was your age, so good on you. No, big things right now is making sure that we don't have animal abuse going on. I know we have some local options to work on combating against things like puppy mills, things where we have people getting these poor puppies getting pumped out from these breed dogs over and over. I definitely want to see that, making sure that we do what we can to stop that, so these animals are not being subjected to such cruel treatment, and whatever we can do to foster the ability for there to be access to rescue animals, and that we can make sure that they get homed in good, safe environments. But also, I don't think the answer to that needs to come from Frankfort. I think Frankfort needs to empower the local cities and local counties to also take on these things as well, because Frankfort doesn't know what's best for everyone. So I'd love to see if maybe Frankfort could give things like that to the Lexington Fayette County urban government to see what works best here as well.
Ms. Brent.
Okay, I know this kid. For the record, that's my son. That's the one I'm talking about. He's been doing that. You know my stance on animals. But piggybacking off what Mr. Moore said, you may or may not know this year there was actually a bill in Frankfort to take away the local options to prohibit puppy mill sales in state or in municipalities. So obviously we don't need to do that, but I know, Ethan, I will carry your bill. We will reintroduce it, okay? But there is a tie-in between animal welfare issues and abuse of children. There's a big correlation between the two, so it is an issue that needs to be addressed.
Josh.
Well, again, Ethan, thank you for that question. I just want to let you know, when I was growing up, my uncle was actually a veterinarian, so people used to think that that my parents, well, my dad was my uncle, and they would dump their animals that they didn't want in our yard. So we would often at one point we had 7 dogs and 2 cats at one point. I actually do have 2 cats right now, and I've adopted them. They're both rescues, and I absolutely love them, and I cannot imagine somebody being cruel to animals. We absolutely need to work to outlaw puppy mills. And to piggyback on what Adam said, we definitely need to empower our local governments in order to prevent animal cruelty and abuse.
Thank you. Ann Dunmore.
All right, I'm gonna come over here so I can see everybody. This is something that my family has worked on for a long time. My family has been very involved with the Woodford Humane Society, specifically with the Spay and Neuter Fund going on there, as well as the Lexington Humane Society. My 14-year-old has been heavily involved with KYA, Kentucky Youth Assembly, which is put on by the YMCA of Kentucky. Her bill last year was about animal cruelty. Kentucky is the 47th ranked state for animal cruelty laws. Our laws are not acceptable. We as a state pride ourselves on being this horse capital of the world. We don't do enough to protect them, at any kind of animal here. We need to be making stronger penalties for people who do abuse our animals. We also need to be working on enforcement and monitoring. So every once in a while we hear these horrible stories that pop up in the news, and we need to make sure that we prevent those from happening.
Was that your bill that passed last session?
My bill has not yet passed.
But it's your named after you, right?
that was Ethan.
Oh, okay.
Dog.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
There's 2 Ethans.
Gotcha.
We've got Kid Ethan and Dog Ethan.
Gotcha. Thank you for the clarification. Jamie Blundell.
Thank you for asking this question. That was part of the list of things that I didn't get to cover. Animal cruelty is one of my issues. All of my dogs that I've adopted since I've been an adult have come from the Lexington Humane Society. I have two crazy mutts right now, Madison and Kennedy, who are my dogters. So I actually have, talking about experience and what you've done instead of what you're gonna do, I actually advocated in Frankfurt for the animal cruelty bill, and House Bill 258 actually passed. And I've been endorsed by the Citizens Against Animal Cruelty and Domestic Abuse, because those are linked very closely. So we have to do more. I think that we should make the state animal the rescue animals.
Yeah.
I'm a strong supporter of that. Mine are all rescues. And it's terrible that we are in the bottom 3 of the nation for animal cruelty laws. We have to do better. Thank you.
All right, Representative.
Fantastic question, buddy.
Yes, thank you. Representative Campbell. And then Sarah.
It's good to see you again. Thank you for the question. I'm actually really happy that you asked it. I know that you actually have worked with Representative Stevenson on that bill, and it is an exceptional bill, and my hope is that when your mother is elected and she files your bill again, I would very gladly like to co-sponsor it. Echoing what everybody has said, nobody approves of animal cruelty. It is, or we shouldn't. My hope is that we can work on getting your bill passed as well as others to ensure that we're doing right for animals, to make sure that we are protecting them. I am not an animal owner because I can't handle the pressure of not knowing what's wrong if an animal is having an issue. My family, I do love dogs, I love cats, a little allergic to cats, but my hope is that people who want pets will actually, bless you, will adopt, will go to the local shelters and will adopt and make sure that we are doing all the things that we can to help reduce the shelter population as well as protect animals. But your bill's a good one. I will co-sponsor your mom's bill.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Ethan, thank you so much for your question and for being so civically engaged at a young age. I'm sure that you don't remember this, but I actually was working for Representative Joe Graves when he was carrying your bill, and I am very familiar with it, and I think it's a fantastic bill. And I think I share the sentiment with everybody here that we would be happy to co-sponsor when we are elected. I also come from a family that actually owns a pet sitting business. And unfortunately, we have seen some cases of animal abuse due in just this environment that we have been working in. And we've seen that there is unfortunately not a lot of infrastructure for reporting animal abuse, and that's something that needs to be addressed. I also share Mr. Moore's stance that this needs to be a local issue, and we have to remember as a state as a whole that there is no place for the abuse or neglect of an animal, whether it be a cat, a dog, a bird, a fish, a horse, anywhere in the state. So again, thank you for your question, and I'm very proud of you for the work that you're doing.
All right. Totally agree with all those. Yes, there's a question. Feel free to come up. I just wanted to say that we have about 15 minutes